her life. This young lady did not have a chance to become a mother. So this community, Troy, this community here, right here, deserves to give Vanessa and Elena a chance to understand that she didn't have to go this way. She didn't have to lose her life this particular way. So there's somebody out there, somebody, someplace, somewhere, who knows something that occurred at this particular fire. And I know it must be burning you deep on the inside, the guilt that's holding you back from telling the truth about what you saw or what you know. So come outside and work with us, join us as we make our way down to the scene where Vanessa Milligan lost her life with her unborn child.
All right, let's get into it. Part 2. You know, we left off back where Nate was trying to get answers on who Gabrielle Vega was at the time, because we had no clue. And you know, there was a lot of drama going on behind the scenes, but Vanessa being so quiet, she never told anybody, you know. So, you know, like, being from any kind of hood or being in any kind of baby mama drama situation, I'm sure you can understand the drama that Vanessa might have been going through behind Kimmy's anger, because her kid's father was out cheating and got Vanessa pregnant. So you can only assume that Kimmy was pretty pissed off and would do what any other kid's mom would do in that situation. Lash out towards the female, right? So I'm sure there was a lot of texting going on, a lot of back and forth on Facebook, Messenger or whatever. So there was this one dude, you know, after the murder and whatever, you know, he reached out to me and he was telling me about some alleged bus ride that Kimmy took. You know, I don't know if she took the bus. I don't know if there was any real truth behind the story or whatever, but he, you know, he took the bus, or he said he overheard her say on a bus or something in those terms, that like she was riding past Vanessa's house and whoever she was with, she was pointing it out like, yo, that's where that bitch lived, da 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 da. And so, you know, that's just one little part of a story or some information that a dude hit me up on my inbox, and he was telling me these things and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter anymore. But you know, and then let's just talk about my mom. You know, she had cancer. So, you know, Vanessa being raised by my mom literally since she was probably about 6 months. You know, Nate going in and out of jail and shit like that when we was younger and shit, you know. So my mother was mom, hands down, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's mom right there, you know. She grandma and my mom, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how it go in all hoods. And you know, so Vanessa more or less was staying in the hospital with my mom, like day in, day out. You couldn't get her away from the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Here she is. She's 8 months pregnant and living in a hospital with my dying mother. And, you know, Nate used to drag her out of there, take her home. Somebody would, or, you know, she can go at least get a little bit of rest, take a real shower. You know, just get out the hospital and whatnot, you know, like for weeks, living in there, like as if she was in there, you know what I'm saying? And that was her life, her last 2 weeks of her life, living in and out of a hospital for attachment reasons. She couldn't get away from grandma, you know what I'm saying? But let's just get into the day, April 3rd. Terrible day. I remember Vanessa going home later that night, and me, my brother, and all the brothers or whatever, we made plans to meet up at my mom's house the next day. And by the time I got down there, Vanessa was just leaving with Teresa, Nate's girlfriend at the time. And they were going out, get some food, some ice cream and whatnot, which became a real important part of the whole puzzle. Because, like when you go out to eat and you go out, get ice cream and stuff, and some responsible person got a debit card, you get receipts. So, receipts that carry dates, times. So, it helps out with like a time frame thing or whatnot. That helped out a lot in the case. So, shout out to Teresa for having a credit card / debit card. And then they went and did whatever they did, got some food and ice cream and whatever and shit, and I gave her a nice big hug and shit before she pulled off with Teresa. Told her I loved her. She looked beautiful. I remember she had something red on that day. And I squeezed the shit out of her. Yes, I did. Pregnant and all. Told her I loved her because our mom just died and that everything was going to be all right. So she went on about her day with Teresa and whatnot, and me and the bros just chilling, hanging out and shit, at Mom's crib. Mom's just passed. And trying to make plans of, what the hell we gonna do with Mom's stuff and shit, things of that nature. Smoking weed, just doing what we do. Sad, crying, laughing, doing it all, right? So, later on that day, I go home and shit. Nate's calling Vanessa and shit, making sure, like, yo, come through. Why don't you just let me come pick you up? Come over to Teresa's house and shit. And Vanessa, she's like, nah, I'm good. Janelle's here. She had company and stuff, So she kind of persuade Nate's brain to be like, yo, I'm good. Like, I'm good, Pops. You know what I'm saying? And so being that Janelle, is like her best friend, Nate trusted it, and was cool with it. So, Janelle's there. She got her baby, Janelle's mother, and guess they were shooting the shits. But then you had Nate's kid's mom who lived upstairs, Daisy. And she had did some wild shit, and she wasn't allowed in my mom's crib and shit. So this is a major part of her story, like she wasn't allowed in my mom's house. Her and my mom didn't really get along. Daisy was on drugs. She had stole some of my mother's medication and shit. I hate to put her out there like that, but fuck it, it's part of the story. So she was locked out. She couldn't get in. So, if you go through my mom's crib and you go out the back door, there's a back hallway and she can go up and get in her house and shit. So that's what she had to do to get in her crib. So, Daisy, knowing that Vanessa was there with Janelle and her mom and the baby or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So Daisy goes upstairs, minding her motherfucking business. And so I guess Janelle and them, they were told by Vanessa, I believe that they were told by Vanessa, yo, my baby father coming over, you know what I'm saying? I think it was because he had her iPad or something like that, and he was supposed to be bringing it back or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know what the scoop there was, but I guess she told her to leave the door open, you know what I'm saying? Like, he coming over and shit, which is another major part of the story too. So I guess Janelle and them take off and shit. But so I guess that's when Gabe comes over and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like Daisy upstairs, after some time, I guess she had heard some rumbling going on downstairs or whatever the case may have been. Whatever she heard, she was trying to lay down, put her son to sleep. And according to her, she had heard some noises downstairs. But mind you, Daisy wasn't allowed downstairs. So being that she knew it was Vanessa, Janelle's mother, and the baby, she kind of figured maybe they, doing something down there, and, she pregnant and shit, so what more could she be doing, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe moving some boxes around, showing, because Vanessa had just had like a baby shower, so, she, in her brain, she probably thinking she just moving some big stuff around, so. And plus, when you're not allowed somewhere, you're not just going to go downstairs like, hey, what the hell's going on down here? You ain't even allowed down there. You know what I'm saying? So she had heard what the hell was going on downstairs, so she never pursued to see what the fuck was going on downstairs, more or less. So, the unthinkable happened. And, he kills my niece, sets the house on fire, and kaboom! I guess a big blast happened because Daisy upstairs and Nate Jr.